Oh, that's record. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and today's video is going to be about my favorite dips or like spreads and how I incorporate them in my diet and just, yeah, what our favorites are along the way. If you've been watching us for a little bit, you know that Adam and I love our dips. Like, we look forward to going to the store just so we can pick out different dips every time. Like, we are always looking for new ones. We're always looking for good low point options. Like, we love dips. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started with some dips. So first thing, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started with Adam's favorites. Well, Adam's favorite type of dip. I kind of have these in little sections because there's really only a few like types of dip we like to eat, but buffalo chicken dip is Adam's like all-time weakness. He eats it every single day. He has tried, like, every time we go to the store he picks up their type, but I asked him to rank his top 5. He gave me 7. But these are his top buffalo chicken dips, and you would think that like buffalo chicken, like a lot of times they have like cream cheese or like sour cream based or like they're like creamy. You think they'd be like super high point, but really I think the highest point dip he really has is 2 smart points for 2 tablespoons, which is usually what we try to get anyway. So let's see. We have his top favorite chicken dip, and this is the one from Sam's Club. This is the Members Mark, and they actually have the same exact container that's like the Frank's Red Hots that I think is like the same nutrition and everything, but this is the Sam's Club brand, and this is 2 smart points for 2 tablespoons. This is his favorite dip. This one I would say is like the closest to one that you just like have at a party that people make, where you use like canned chicken, buffalo, and cream cheese. Very good. That one's probably also one of my favorites. Not my favorite, but I'll get to that. But yeah, 2 smart points for 2 tablespoons. Then his number 2 buffalo dip I don't have, and I don't have all the dips with me today. I'm just gonna show the ones I have, and if I don't, I'll put a picture of it on the screen. But the next one, and we found this a couple times and we haven't been able to find it since, so he's kind of upset about it. He gets really excited when we go to Aldi to look for it, and then they just haven't had it. But it's an Aldi dip, and it is a buffalo chicken with blue cheese. So I wasn't a huge fan of it because it had chunks of blue cheese in it, and it's also a little bit higher smart point, not like anything crazy. It's 2 tablespoons for 3 smart points instead of 2 for 2 like the other one, but he just loves that one because it has the blue cheese in it. So that's his number 2. Number 3 is the Trader Joe's buffalo chicken dip, which I also really enjoyed this one. And again, a lot of these really are kind of similar, at least to me. He's like the buffalo fanatic, so to me this one's very similar to the first one, but it's really good, and it's also 2 smart points for 2 tablespoons. Then the next one is a Good Foods brand, and it's their plant-based buffalo chicken dip. So I think they actually have 2 different ones. He has another one on the list that I think is the same brand, but anyway, this one is like a plant-based version, so it's more of like a smoother consistency, and yeah, he put that one next. That one's also 2 smart points for 2 tablespoons. Then his next one, which I think this one should be higher up, this one's like my favorite. This is the cauliflower buffalo style dip from Aldi. This one is 2 smart points for 2 tablespoons, and I just love this on just like pretzels and stuff like that. It's just such a good snack. But yeah, he put that one third to last, which I don't agree with. He's the pro. Anyway, the next one he just recently tried was from Costco, and we don't have it anymore, but I want to say it was also Good Foods brand. I'm gonna double check, and it is just not their plant-based one. It's their buffalo style version of the dip. So that one, when I looked it up, it says it's 1 smart point for 2 tablespoons. Then the last dip that he has is the Walmart brand, which I want to say is like Marketplace or Market Side or something, but not a big fan of that one. I mean, it tastes like buffalo. It's like a little runny and tasted to me more just like buffalo sauce than like a creamy dip, but you never know. It's still, some people like it, and it's not bad, but it's 2 smart points for 2 tablespoons. So those are our top buffalo dips, and what Adam does with those actually is he likes to take like the 2 tablespoon serving and spread it on a tortilla and then add extra chicken and some veggies, and then that makes him like a buffalo wrap. Sometimes I'll add like extra buffalo sauce, but he really likes to use them for wraps. I really like to dip tortilla chips in them, or pretzels, or pita chips, but I use it more as a dip. He uses it more as a spread. So those are the buffalo dips, and they just get their their own section because of him. But then the next thing I want to go to, I wanted to include these because I do not like hummus. Like, I've never been a big hummus fan. I've always tried to like it because I know it's healthier. It's made from chickpeas, but I just have never been able to really enjoy it until I found this brand, and this is Lantana. I always feel like I'm saying it wrong, but holy cow, they have such good different flavors. And so this one is just like my all-time favorite. I talk about it all the time. This is their black bean hummus, and I think that's why I like this brand so much, is because their hummuses aren't all chickpea based. And so this one is just good. It's got a kick to it. It is 2 tablespoons is only 1 smart point, so that's usually the amount I like to use on my wraps, and that's pretty much all I use hummus for is wraps. They work well as a dip. They're really good with even like carrot sticks if you want to have like veggies and have like a really low point snack, or they're really good with like pretzels, but I use them mainly for wraps. So this one's my favorite, and they also have a bunch of other flavors. Another one that I really recommend is 2 smart points for 2 tablespoons, and that is the sriracha carrot. That one is super flavorful. It almost tastes like taco seasoning. Like, it's really good. So that one is my next favorite. And then Adam wanted me to mention they have like a really spicy one. I'll put that one on the screen, but he really enjoys that one as well. But like I said, they have so many. They have like cauliflower, they have edamame, they have avocado. Like, they have so many different types that aren't just like a chickpea based hummus flavored different ways. So I definitely recommend checking those out. They're a good low point option for a dip, but like I said, I mainly use them for wraps. He uses it as a dip or for his wraps. So that's always a really good option to have on hand. We always have some hummus in our fridge now. Then the next thing I'm going to talk about is salsas, and I love salsa. I like to make homemade pico de gallo, which is like tomato, onion, cilantro, jalapeno. That can get time consuming and it doesn't always hold up as long. So these are like my 3 salsas that I enjoy the most, and actually all 3 of them are from Trader Joe's. That's just the best ones I've found. So I do like to get sometimes like just like a fresh salsa, even at like Walmart or Target. They have them in the front by like the deli section. I do enjoy those sometimes, but a lot of times I feel like they go bad. I don't end up eating them all because I don't enjoy them that much, but these ones I do, and they hold up longer. So first one is the Trader Joe's Cowboy Caviar, and I just really like this one because it's got like beans and corn and pepper, I guess. Beans, corn, and pepper, it says on the front. But this one, you can have 3 tablespoons for 1 smart point. And sometimes I kind of thought the salsa would be like 0 points because it's like veggies, tomato, corn, bean, whatever. But there is sometimes added sugar or other ingredients included that would make it points. So make sure you check that. But like I said, 3 tablespoons for 1 smart point is definitely worth it. And this is something that I love to put in bowls, but it's really good with like tortilla chips and pretzels as well. Then the next salsa that I really like, I don't have it with me, is the Trader Joe's corn relish. It's like the tomato-less corn relish salsa, and oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so different, and it is really sweet, but that one I could just eat with chips. It's so good with blue corn tortilla chips. I don't know what it is about the combination with each other, but I highly recommend that one, and that one's also 1 smart point for 3 tablespoons. And then the last salsa that is like my new favorite salsa, and mostly for eggs I like to use this, or breakfast burritos. It's so good to dip breakfast burritos in, but also just as a salsa to eat with chips, or I don't know, this one's really good. So this is the Trader Joe's garlic chipotle salsa, and this one is 0 smart points until you have 4 tablespoons. So once you get to 4, then it's 1 smart point, but I don't usually use more than that. So usually I don't even have to track this one, and it's just super flavorful. It's like a basic jarred salsa, but better because it tastes so good. So I highly recommend that one for salsa. Then next we're gonna go into like cheese dip or queso. 2 of them I don't have. So the first one is the Fiesta cashew dip from Trader Joe's, and it's just like a cashew based queso, which is a very common thing using like cashews because they're a similar consistency. They can flavor them to taste similar to cheese, but then they're like a plant-based dip. I really like that one. That one is, you can have 3 tablespoons for 1 smart point of that dip, and I like to put that one in my bowls, or again, use it as a dip. All of these I use as a dip with chips or pretzels, but I'm kind of giving you other ideas of what we use for them too. So I like to put them in like my rice bowls and mix them with the rice. It makes it creamier, or just put it on wraps is really good too. So that one's good. And then there's also another plant-based queso from Good Foods, that brand that I mentioned earlier. It's either cashew or cauliflower based. I'll double check, but it is really good. And they are a different consistency. Like, you can't expect that it's going to taste identical to queso, but if you didn't know, like, it's pretty similar. It really is a good replacement for the amount of points. Like, you can have, again, with the Good Foods one, you can have 2 tablespoons for a smart point, which 1 smart point for a serving of cheese is not bad. And it does satisfy that cheese craving. So I highly recommend those. And then also, I talk about this all the time. You guys know my favorite queso cheese dip from Trader Joe's. And I say this every time, it does have a unique taste. It's made with like, I always look, but it's got apple cider vinegar, and I feel like that's like the main thing that gives it kind of like a sweeter taste or like a unique taste to it. And I didn't like it when I first tried it, but I love this stuff now. I will make a trip out to Trader Joe's to get this if I'm out of it. Like, it's that worth it. It's so good. And again, this is one that just mixed with rice. So if I do like a Mexican style rice bowl with the queso and like beans and chicken and veggies, and then you mix it up and it coats the rice, oh, it is so good. I want it right now. So you can have up to 5 tablespoons of this cheese dip for 1 smart point, which seems crazy. And I never even use that amount, but you can have a lot of cheese for low points, and I really enjoy it. It has really become like top 3 of my favorite dips, I would definitely say. Yeah, so that's it for like queso dips. And then the last thing is just like kind of miscellaneous, like creamy dips. So going off of Good Foods, they have a tzatziki as well, which is plant-based. So if anyone's vegan or anything, like they do have a really good plant-based line of dips that I highly recommend. So the tzatziki is good, and that tzatziki is cauliflower based, and I want to say that's the one. It has like a little bit like of a minty, cucumbery dill taste to it. It's really a refreshing dip. So it's not my favorite tzatziki, but it is a really good option to even dip cucumbers in, or like make a gyro out of it, use that, or a bowl. I have used it in like my Greek bowls before, and it's really good. And that one you can have 3 tablespoons for 1 smart point. So then, my favorite dip. These are so good, and I talk about these all the time as well, but these are from Aldi. These are their tzatziki, and actually I haven't even opened this one yet. I haven't tried it before. This was the first time finding it, but this one is like my main favorite dip. This is the spinach parmesan flavor, and these are made with Greek yogurt. This one's the cucumber dill, and then they also have a spinach artichoke, which is so good as well. So I haven't tried this one, like I said, but I'm excited to. I'm gonna use it in a bowl maybe today. Those are both 2 smart points for 2 tablespoons, and sometimes I'll even use more, so it's worth using a few more points for it because it's so good. And same thing with the queso. When you mix it in with rice, it just makes like a whole new dish. I can't even explain how good these dips are mixed with rice. So I recommend that in bowls. I also have done it on wraps. I also, when I'm hungry, dip some pretzels or some chips in it. So that is like a favorite of mine. I cannot get enough of that dip. Same thing like with the Trader Joe's. I will make a trip to Aldi just to grab the dip in and out, and like I have to do it because I have to have that on hand at all times. Then the next one, Trader Joe's actually has a really good spinach and kale dip, and it kind of reminds me of like I guess they were just like spinach dips that would be inside of like the center of like a Hawaiian bread, if you know what I'm talking about. Like parties where you have the big Hawaiian bread with the dip in the middle. Like it kind of is similar to that, and it's so good. And I don't like kale, but I don't really notice it in this dip. And that you can actually have 3 tablespoons for 1 smart point. Technically 1 tablespoon is 0 smart points of the dip, but yeah, that one is super good. I think I have that most with just pretzel crisps as like a snack, but it's also really good on wraps or bowls. And yeah, I just highly recommend that one for a low point dip option. Like that's also in one of my tops. I don't know if I can even rank these because that one's a really good one as well. And then I'm just gonna mention it even though I know it's discontinued, and I just am gonna hope that it's gonna come back. So that's why I'm gonna talk about it, because it is my favorite dip. It's very similar to the black bean hummus that I enjoy, but it is the Trader Joe's black bean dip, and it is spicy. It pretty much just seems like it's like mashed black beans, like a refried bean dish almost. And it is 2 tablespoons you can have for 1 smart point. I love this stuff on wraps. Like it's just so flavorful. I don't know if it's got like peppers in it and that's what gives it the flavor, but like I know it's gone, like I said, and I shouldn't even mention it, but hopefully it'll be back one day. And if you do see it, then it's in a little rectangle container, and it is so good. But like I said, the black bean hummus is pretty similar and has kind of like filled the void of not having my Trader Joe's dip. Then the last one I want to talk about is another Trader Joe's dip. Trader Joe's has like the best variety of dips, just so you know. Aldi does too, but Trader Joe's has a really good variety. So they have a creamy jalapeno dip, and it's like a creamy cauliflower jalapeno dip, and it's 2 smart points for 2 tablespoons. I actually used it for a pasta sauce once, and it was super good. I haven't gotten it in a while, so I'll probably pick it up soon and try that again. But I definitely recommend it for another low smart point dip. Like you can turn it into something else. You can mix it with some pasta, or again, in a bowl. Yeah, these are the dips that we have just come to love over time, that like they're so good. These are really all very like point friendly dips. We've definitely found dips that are higher point and like not scanned up the store, brought them home and realized I'm like, oh, but we make it work anyway. But this just helps us be able to add a lot of flavor to our dishes, a lot of texture and like creaminess, and for very low point. So I highly recommend you guys just experiment with different dips on your wraps, in your bowls, as pasta sauces, or just as a snack, as a dip with pretzels or vegetables or something like that. So if I'm missing any of your favorites, please leave them below, because like I said, we are always looking for new options and we're not picky and we like to try things out. So yeah, leave some suggestions below. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.